This is Fitness Blender's Hourglass workout. In this workout routine, we're going to be doing 14 repetitions of 8 different exercises, and we're going to be going through the full routine 3 times. Let's go ahead and get started with our first round. We're going to start out with the jumping oblique twist. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Keep those hands right about shoulder height, twisting those hips back and forth, left to right as far as you can while still trying to keep those shoulders facing straight forward. It's a nice quick motion, but remember you're really trying to control it. That's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. You're going to move on to the Pilates side hip raise next. You're going to grab your mat for this one. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. All of your weight is going to be in your elbow and your knee on that right side to begin with, lifting that hip up as high as you can out to the left. You want to drop that shoulder underneath you as you lift those hips. Really try to squeeze that oblique on that bottom side, on that right side. And then slowly let that hip back down to the ground with a little bit of a gap underneath it. Just got one more. And go ahead and let it relax. We're going to switch sides, do the same thing on the opposite side. And begin again. Remember all that weight in your elbow and your knee. Pull that shoulder underneath you every single time you're lifting those hips. Really get a nice tight squeeze on those obliques. Just keep that motion going nice and slow under control, keeping those abs nice and tight, contracting that back and those obliques the entire time. And here's your last one right here. Go ahead and let that one relax. Moving on to the bicycle crunch. 14 repetitions for this one. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. You're going to alternate back and forth. Left elbow to right knee, right elbow to left knee. Pulling that knee in as close as you can and crossing over with that elbow, trying to touch that thigh or the top of that knee. You want to try to get as much rotation as you can from left to right and trying to pull that chest up off the ground as much as you can as you crunch up every time you bring those knees in. Just keep that motion going nice and slow under control. Try to get a full extension with those legs each time, but don't let those legs actually touch the ground. You're almost done. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. And we're moving on to the Pilates oblique crunch with side leg raise. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. You want your core nice and tight on this one, pulling that belly button in towards your spine. Legs together, pinning those feet together as tight as you can. And you want to keep a nice straight line, keeping that body in one plane as you crunch up. So as those legs come up off the ground, those shoulders come up off the ground, you want to try to keep it straight up and down. You don't want to let those legs come forward towards your upper body. Just get a few more repetitions in here. Get a nice tight squeeze as you reach across. Almost done. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. We're going to switch sides. Do the same thing again. And begin. Nice tight squeeze, trying to get up as high as you possibly can, raising those legs and those shoulders as high as you can. And you want to try to keep as much of your weight as possible on your waist rather than up on your hip. So if you're feeling like you're coming up on your hip too much, then try to raise your legs a little bit higher, and that should lean you a little bit back further onto your waist. Also, if you reach kind of back behind your leg rather than more towards the front, that'll help you keep in a nice straight line. We're almost done. You have one more repetition. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. This is the knee tuck crunch. You're going to be sitting up for this one. Those hands are going to be right by those hips or just a little bit behind those hips. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. You're going to lean back and use your counterbalance of the weight of your legs and your upper body to balance on that tailbone. Extend those legs out, and as you pull them back in, you're going to crunch forward, bending at that torso as much as you can, and then extend those legs right back out, flattening your back and leaning back as much as possible. Just place those hands wherever's comfortable. Just make sure they're not underneath your butt. It's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. We're going to move on to the fast hands crunch next. This one's similar to what we just did. You're balancing on that tailbone. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Lean back just a little bit, get those feet up off the ground, and rotate left to right as quickly as you can, touching those hands to the ground on each side. You want to keep those elbows tucked into your rib cage as close as you can. Really focus on trying to rotate those shoulders. Just got a few more. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. This is the Backbow crossover. Go ahead and flip over onto your stomach. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. You're going to lift up like you would with a regular Backbow, but you're going to twist to the left, lift up again, twist to the right, and then continuing to alternate back and forth using those obliques to pull yourself sideways, pulling those legs and that upper body sideways each time you come down. Really focus on trying to get as high as you can each time as well, keeping those legs and those arms nice and straight. Almost done. And that's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. Moving on to the windshield wipers. You're on your back for this one. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Those knees come up to a 90-degree angle right up above those hips. And then you're going to lay those legs off to the left and off to the right as far as you can control without letting those shoulders come up off the ground. You want to pin those shoulders to the ground the entire time you're doing this. So you might want to start with a slightly smaller range of motion when you first start doing this exercise just to see how you can control it. And then start pushing that range of motion just a little bit more left to right to try to get a little bit more out of those obliques. Just keep that motion going under control, nice and slow. It should not be fast. You don't want to let that momentum pull you any further than you can control. Good, we're almost done. Just a few more repetitions. One more back over the other side. Bring those knees back up straight. And let it relax. Alright, that's the end of number 1. We're back around to the first exercise, start of round number 2. Back to the jumping oblique twist. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember turning those knees and hips as far as you can left to right. Trying to keep those shoulders straight forward in front of you. Nice quick motion. As soon as those feet touch the ground, they're right back off again. And go ahead and let it relax. Moving on to the Pilates side hip raise next. We're going to be starting on your right side. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Alright, remember that weight is in your elbow and your knee. Pressing that hip up as high as you possibly can. Back down, barely hovering above the ground, and then press it right back up. You want to drop that shoulder underneath you each time as those obliques contract, really get a nice tight squeeze. Just keep that motion going, nice and controlled. Almost done. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. Moving to the other side. Get ready. And begin. Focus on really shoving that shoulder down underneath you, pressing those hips up as high as you can. Really getting a nice tight squeeze on those obliques. You should feel it on that bottom side, on that left oblique. Just keep that motion going. Really trying to shove those hips up as high as you can. Almost done. It's your last one right here. Go ahead and let that one relax. We're going to move on to the bicycle crunch next. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Go ahead and crunch up, engaging those abs, then alternating left and right. Left elbow, right knee, right elbow, left knee. Crossing back and forth, trying to get those shoulders as far as you can each time. This is not only about those abdominal muscles, but it's about those obliques as well, so try to get a good twist on it. Pulling that knee in nice and close, and trying to get that elbow as close to that knee as you possibly can. Just keep that motion going. We're almost done. It's your last one right here. And let it relax. Alright, moving on to that Pilates oblique crunch with leg raise. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember, trying to keep a nice straight line through that body. Crunching up with that hand, pulling that shoulder across down towards that hip. Reach with that hand behind that leg just a little bit, and it'll help you keep a nice straight line from your head to your toe, keeping that body in one plane so you don't bring those legs forward or crunch forward with those shoulders. Just keep that motion going nice and slow under control. Remember, try to keep your weight in your waist. Lift those legs a little bit higher if you need to make you lean back a little bit more on that waist rather than on that hip. We're almost done. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. We're going to switch sides and do that again. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember, nice tight squeeze, getting those legs and those shoulders up as high as you possibly can. Lean forward onto that front hand to give yourself a little bit of balance. But still trying to keep that body in a nice straight line from head to toe. Try to bring those legs forward or those shoulders forward. You just want to try to bring them straight up as much as you can. Just got a few more repetitions to go through. And here's your last one right here. And let it relax. Alright, moving on to the knee tuck crunch. Go ahead and sit up. Those hands are either by those hips or just a little bit behind those hips. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Legs go fully extended as you lean back nice and straight. Then crunch forward as you tuck those knees in, keeping those feet hovering and balancing on that tailbone. Just keep that motion going under control. Don't go too fast, otherwise you're going to start losing your balance. Just got a few more through. There's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. And we're going to switch over to the fast hands crunch. Balancing on that tailbone again. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Bring those feet up. Twisting left and right as fast as you can. Try to get as much range of motion out as you can. Elbows tucked to your sides, nice and close to that rib cage. Touching those hands down to the mat each time. Almost done. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. And we're going to move on to the backbow crossovers. Go ahead and roll onto your stomach again. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Go ahead and raise those arms and legs up nice and high, using those obliques to pull yourself left to right. Really focus on getting a nice high extension as you lift those arms, lift those legs. Then get as much as you can to the left and as much as you can to the right each time. Just keep that motion going, trying to keep those arms straight, trying to keep those legs straight. Really working on contracting those obliques to get you pulled sideways as much as possible. We're almost done. Got one more. And let it relax. Alright, moving on to the windshield wipers. Laying on your back for this one. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Those knees come up to a 90-degree angle right above those hips. Lay those legs off to the left and right as far as you can control without letting those shoulders come up off the ground. Remember, really focus on only going as far as that back will let you go, so you might not be flexible enough to go quite as far as she is, and you also might not be quite strong enough to go quite as far as she is without letting those shoulders come up off the ground. So really, really be conscious of what your own limitations are. Almost done. Just have one more coming back to the other side. Bring those legs back up straight and let it relax. All right, that's the end of round number 2. Now for our final round, let's go ahead and start back in that first exercise, the jumping oblique twist. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember those knees and feet twisting as far as you can from left to right, keeping those shoulders straight forward. You want as much of that motion coming from your waist as possible rather than those hips. And that's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. Moving on to the Pilates side hip raise. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Drop that shoulder underneath you every single time you raise that hip. Really nice tight squeeze in that oblique on that right side for this one. Just keep that motion going nice and slow under control. Just a little bit of a hover underneath that hip as you drop down. Then really shove it back up nice and high. We're almost done. And that's your last one right here. Go ahead and let it relax. Gonna switch sides, do the same thing again. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember, raise that hip nice and high. Tucking that shoulder underneath you. Just keep that motion nice and slow under control. Almost done. This is your last repetition right here. Go ahead and let that one relax. Going to roll over on your back for this next one, the bicycle crunch. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. You want to crunch up nice and high, crossing back and forth, alternating those arms and legs. Left knee, right elbow. Right knee, left elbow. Just getting as much range of motion out as you can. Really focusing on trying to get that elbow all the way up to that knee. Just keep that motion going. Almost done. And this is your last one right here. Go ahead and let that one relax. And roll over onto that left side for the Pilates oblique crunch with the leg raise. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember, keep a nice straight line from your head all the way down to your feet. Leaning forward onto that left hand just a little bit for balance. Crunch up nice and high to the side, lifting those legs. Try to keep as much weight in that waist as you can. Raise those legs a little bit higher if you need to lean back onto that waist. And reach a little bit back behind that leg to help you keep a nice straight line. Almost done. Just a few more repetitions. And there's your last one right here. Go ahead and let that one relax. We're going to switch sides. We're going to roll over onto that right side. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Pulling those shoulders up nice and high as those legs lift. Reaching back behind that leg. Keep a nice straight line through your body. Really get a nice tight squeeze on that oblique on that left side. We're almost done. This is your last repetition right here. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the knee tuck crunch. Go ahead and sit up on that tailbone. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember hovering on that tailbone, balancing up there. Extend those legs out nice and straight as you lean back with a straight back. Then crunch forward, rounding that back as you tuck those knees in. Hands are just by your hips or just a little bit back behind those hips for balance. Just keep that motion going nice and slow under control. Almost done. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. Stay up on that tailbone for this next one, the fast hands crunch. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Balancing on that tailbone again. Rotating those shoulders left to right as much as you can. You really want to focus on getting as much twist as possible. Elbows close to your sides. Tapping those hands down to the mat each time. We're almost done. It's your last repetition right here. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the Backbow crossovers. Go and roll onto your stomach. Get ready. And begin. Remember, arch up nice and high, lifting those arms and legs up off the ground as high as possible. Using those obliques to pull yourself left and right as much as you can. Really try to get a good curve out of it. Just keep that motion going. Try to keep those arms and legs nice and straight. And trying to get as much a range of motion out of it as you can. Almost done. It's your last repetition right here. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the last one, your windshield wipers. Go ahead and roll over onto that back. Get ready. And begin. Bring those legs up, knees 90-degree angle, right above those hips. Laying those legs off left to right as far as you can control. Keep those abs nice and tight the entire time, shoulders flat against that mat. Just keep that motion going as far as you can, as far as you can control. Nice and smooth. Almost done. You have one more on each side. Off to the right side first. Then bring it back over to the left. Back up straight. And let it relax. Alright, you just completed Fitness Blender's Hourglass workout. If you like our free workouts, then go to fitnessblender.com and sign up for our free newsletter and get the newest videos sent to you twice a month. Help us spread the word by clicking on the share button just above this video.